Hello, it's a very good evening here in Ghana, and I'm sure it's the same in the London. Today, I'm here to have a British fighter with African roots on the show. It's always great to have our brothers connect to us back in Africa. My guest, ladies and gentlemen, is Ekow Essuman. Ekow, welcome to Kboxtv.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Right, you're welcome. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I've always wanted to have you on the show, and for you to connect with we the fans back in Africa who follow your career, and for you to have your message over to us to continue supporting and then following your career.
Yeah.
Great. I know that the big news came to this afternoon, which of course I'm sure you are very excited about. But before we get there, for the few people who might not have the benefit of the doubt to know you, I would like for you to introduce yourself, and then I will take it from there.
Yeah. My name is Ekboxtv Essuman.
Right.
Obviously, I'm of Ghanaian origin and I have Ghanaian roots. However, I was born in Botswana. But the way things work out there, I'm still from Ghana. I have a Ghanaian passport. Everything's gone down to my heritage and my roots. And I've been boxing over here in the UK for quite a while now. I came over here in 2011 with my dad, Kwame Essuman, and my mom, Adra Essuman. And I started boxing around the year 2008 as an amateur. I started, like most boxers start with 2 left feet, and I didn't know what I was doing. And as things started to progress, I started getting better and better, but at a pace that didn't make sense to a lot of people, because I started boxing late at the age of 17, and I started beating people who were on the English national team when I only had 5 or 6 fights. So my name got a bit of a buzz around here in Nottingham, and it was when I went into the national tournaments that I started beating people on the Great Britain team. That's the whole of the UK. And that's when the scouts said, okay, maybe we should give him a chance. And I got my first call for kind of like a scouting program, and that was there were 43 other boxers, so 44 of us in total, and it was 6 months of grueling fights every week. If you lose, you're out. If you can't make weight, you're out. If you're not good in the fitness test, you're out. And it took 6 months, and then it was just me and one other guy from up north, around Newcastle, and I got the win. I got onto the team. So I started boxing for Great Britain for a little bit. I missed out on the Rio Olympics, but I turned professional, and that was all she wrote. I've had 13 fights now as a professional, 13 wins. I'm English welterweight champion, and as of today, it was announced I'll be fighting for a European title against Cedric Peno.
Great. You've broken the news, or the people who were waiting for me to say that. You've already said that, and yet we'll talk about the fight against Cedric Peno, the French boxer. But for you, that you missed up on the Rio Olympics, is what I wanted to ask you. You were not able to make the Rio Olympics, and I'm sure as a boxer, it was one of the things that you were really hoping and wishing you could make, but unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. How does that make you feel as a boxer?
As a boxer, I wanted, originally in 2012, I wanted to turn professional and start my professional boxing career. But my coach, my 2 coaches actually, they convinced me, like, if you want to turn professional and you want to create a buzz about you, the best thing to do is to go to the Olympics. So naturally, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get myself to the Olympics so that when I turn professional, like, I'll start on a good stage. And I literally just missed out on that opportunity to to the boy that went, Josh Kelly. So in a sense, you can say he's my rival, because in the professional scene, when we get to that same level, don't worry, I'll be calling him out. I want to prove that I should have gone, so that's what I'm gonna do. As an amateur, I was boxing the Rio 2012 Olympian champion, and before that, the 2008 Olympic champion, Ronald Iglesias. I fought him twice. I fought Mohammed Rabi twice, who was world champion, and I fought quite a lot of good lads, and I've not been out of my depth. I've always been in the water with him. So as a professional, I just want to emulate that as well.
All right, great. I mean, how's boxing in Nottingham like?
You know what? It's no different to boxing anywhere else in the UK.
Okay.
It's just because, like, when you're an amateur, you end up traveling everywhere. You end up fighting someone from Scotland, someone from Ireland, someone from London. We all meet up at a set venue for the championships, and it doesn't matter where you're from. It's about what your hands can do.
Great.
So,
great.
So in Nottingham, I'd say it's kind of similar, because in Nottingham, there's a lot of boxers here in Nottingham, and everyone wants to get their name noticed. So so it's the scene is quite buzzing, and everyone wants to fight, everyone wants to smoke, everyone wants to make a name for himself. So I'd say it's pretty much like everywhere else.
Yeah, you know, boxing is really very, very big in the UK. I mean, every fighter, even in Africa, definitely wants to get the opportunity to fight in the UK. And the competition that I see, especially with the welterweight division in the UK, is like, it's insane, it's crazy. Over the weekend, we saw Chris Congo and Luther Clay. He lost his title there, and a lot of welterweights, including yourself, in the mix and all that. I mean, the names, the competition in the UK. I mean, tell us about it.
It's a very competitive welterweight. I was on GB with Chris Congo,
right,
and he left to become a professional before I did, because I think he knew it was kind of a hard mix that we was in, because it was myself, Chris Congo, Josh Kelly, and two other lads, Cyrus Patterson, and what's his name now? He's a super welterweight now. I can't remember this other boxer's name, but it'll come to me. He beat Anthony Fowler lately. But yeah, there were a lot of us welterweights. It was very competitive. Chris turned pro before I did, and then I did maybe 6 months or 8 months later. So it's been cool watching his progress, even though he hadn't boxed for a little while. But obviously he boxed on the weekend. He boxed a good fight.
A very good fight. I mean,
yeah, I think Luther Clay didn't box how he normally would box, because he's normally a good pressure fighter. But it seemed like Chris had got into his head, so Luther was jumping forward with his shots, and he was being too aggressive instead of setting them up. Whereas Chris took that the smart way, and he thought, okay, you want to jump in? I'll box you at range. I'll work you down, and I'll get you out. And that's what he did.
That's what he did. That's true. I mean, great. I mean, I'm glad you also watched the fight, and I'm sure these guys are some of the opponents that you would definitely meet at a point, apart from the ones with the heavyweight title, with the world titles and all that. For you,
I'll make my way up.
I mean, for you. I mean, of course, you have this European title coming up. Who do you really would want to fight in UK before maybe chasing the world glories?
In the UK, there's a list of people. I mean, me and Chris and I talked about fighting each other. Yeah. But this was back when he was on GB, and I said to him then, we fight each other. It has to be for titles, and it has to be to the point where we're gonna make money out of it, because we'll put on a good fight. The way we fight, the way our styles are, we'd put on a good fight. So it needs to make sense for us as well. As my mom always says, if you do something and you're good at it, you can't do it for free.
Right.
But aside from Chris, there's people like Conor Benn and Josh Kelly. But at the top of my list right now is the British champion, Chris Jenkins.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. You're currently the British champion yourself. I mean, you have
Yeah, I'm the English champion, but I want the British. Yeah.
the English champion. I mean, you missed out the opportunity to go get the Olympic medal. But lo and
Yeah.
behold, you find yourself coming. I mean, with something even more rewarding after not after messing up on the Olympic medal. I'm sure, like you said, you would have wanted the opportunity to go for the Olympic Games as part of the glories that you would have wanted to for yourself, but it didn't happen. But you have your English title to yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
the day you won the title, what were the emotions that I mean, the reactions and everything that was running through your head?
Nah, it was yeah, I was very emotional that night. I was crying with joy. I was just in another place because, as you said, I missed out on the Olympic chance, and I was thinking, oh, well, I need to make my way back up. I need to find another path to go up in the as a pro, and that was the first belt that I got given a chance to go for. So I grabbed it with both hands.
Great.
And
I
I
mean,
thought,
what was
if it's written and it's in, and if God says like, yeah, this is for you, it will happen, and it happened. So
the,
yeah,
the fight in 2018 against, I mean, Andy Kettles. How was the fight like?
it was a good fight. He came out fast, and he must have thought that I was going to slow down. But I told him during the press conference because we was going back and forth. He was saying, you call yourself the engine, but I'm going to show you haven't got anything." And I told him, "Well, they call me that for a reason. So if you want to find out, it's up to you."
Okay, I mean, and then you moved on to fight Curtis Felix and then Tyron Nurse. These
Yeah,
two, I mean, they were all fights, especially the one against Tyron Nurse was one of the fights that, I mean, really put you, I mean, uh,
yeah,
right. I mean, the day you fought that guy, and then I mean, other guys that you have fought, especially with Tyron Nurse,
yeah.
what after defeating him, what did you tell yourself? You felt you were ready for the world?
I, I told myself, well, I already know I've been fighting at the level at like double Olympic level.
Mm,
That would equate to world, European, or fringe world title level.
right.
So I told myself I've been mixing it with these people already. These are people I should the people like when I was fighting Tyrone Nurse, I knew he was way more experienced than I was as a professional, but I knew in myself with my capability I can beat someone like this because it's not something I haven't done before. It's something I've done before and I will do again, and I've improved since then. So for me, I was in a sense, it knocked home to me the self-belief, and then from there you can just add on to it brick by brick and build your fortress. Yeah.
Right. I mean, we've been talking too much boxing. Let's. I mean, let's laugh a little bit. I mean, I know you were expecting yourself. I mean, how is family life and everything?
Family life is good, man. Yeah, I was expecting a little one, a daughter in November. So we're making preparations and we're really happy and excited for that.
All right, congratulations, and I wish you well, and you and your wife, and I hope everything goes well. I mean, let's jump right back into the fight that was announced today, because you had your fight. You were supposed to fight, I think, a month ago, and then
Yeah. Well,
it was
July. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then it was cancelled. And I was always following. I mean, even if your friends and everybody were talking about the fight, I mean, you were too ready for the fight to be cancelled.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe it was a blessing in disguise because I've gone away off that. I had maybe 1 week where I wasn't training as hard, and then I jumped back on the training because I knew, well, they're gonna reschedule it. So I should use this time in my favor. So
Mhm.
if I was ready before, I'm more than ready now.
All right, joining Frank Warren's, I mean, Queensberry Promotions. I mean, how has it been for? Even though you haven't really made a debut on it yet, I mean, how has it been for you? And what are your expectations now that you are
You know
signed
what?
with Warren?
Yeah, it's a good thing. It puts me on a platform. So whereas before I was on small hall shows, so I was having to it's all about as many tickets as you can sell to get on the show and to please the promoter and to get good fights. So I was doing that, But now being signed to Frank Warren, the tickets will sell themselves and the fights will sell themselves because I get more exposure. People see what I'm about. They'll see when I'm in a fight, it'll be a good fight. So they'll wanna tune in and watch. Whereas before it was more I had to convince people, oh, you need to come watch me. I'll do this, I'll do that. But now I can just focus on the boxing, so I'll perform even better, and that'll bring more people to the screens.
Great. Cedric Peynaud, what have you learnt about him after he was announced as your opponent for the IBF European Welterweight title?
Yeah, I've done my homework. He's a good boxer. He's a very decent boxer. He has a really good right hand, and if you let him have his space, he will throw that right hand with vengeance. And at the same point, he can switch to southpaw. I don't believe he boxes as good in southpaw, but it's different when you get in the ring with people. And so, yeah, I've been working accordingly. But first and foremost, I've been making sure I'm the best me on the day. So that's all that matters. As long as I'm firing on all cylinders, I don't need to worry.
I mean, we've had a lot of the people with the world title, I mean, the welterweight division, saying they want all the smoke, but they see them all run. I mean, when the people are calling them out, they see them, dodging and all. Do you really want all the smoke like they are calling?
I'm in boxing to not be just another number. I want to go to the top. And to go to the top, I've got to fight people that are ranked above me. I've got, like, when I fought Andy Keats, he wasn't that much ranked above me. But then for my voluntary, I'm the one with my coach that chose Tyrone Nurse, and he was ranked way above me. And everyone around me was saying, "Are you sure? Like, he's a veteran. He's won the British. He's done this. He's done that." And we said, "Yeah, this is boxing. It's not about getting these easy fights. And then when you get a good opponent, you get exposed for not having done the homework." I've done the homework and I'm doing my groundwork. So based on that, when it comes to these big fights where people are saying, I want to give everyone the smoke, I've actually put the work in. So to me, it's not necessarily about smoke. If you're in my way and I want this title and you're mandatory for this title, I'm gonna go through you. It's not even about I want to give you smoke. It's just about you're in my way and I'm gonna move you out of my way.
Great. I mean, you mentioned that. I mean, at a point you were on small shows, and now you find yourself in Frank Warren's show, which is an even bigger platform because you have BT Sport who'll be streaming your fights, which is a very good thing. And for a boxer, I'm sure you have goals, and then finally with Frank Warren coming in, it would make some of these things more achievable and more realizable. Yeah. What are some of your short? Talk us through your medium-term goals and then your long-term goals, and how the timelines that you think you can achieve these things.
You know what? I wrote down on a little mood board of mine that by July, August time, I would be European champion of some sort, and not long after that, that fight date in July materialized. So that was one of my short-term goals. It was the European title that I wanted. And in the long term, ideally, I'd want to move from that European to a fringe world title, so an international world title. And then I want to get myself in the top 15 for a belt line like WBO or IBF. And then I want to get a world title shot at one of those belts in the next year and a half, 2 years, and then I'll go for the other belts, WBA, WBC. It's all about getting on certain rankings, push yourself up, and then just keep going up.
Great. I mean, I wish you well. And with the place that you find yourself now, I think it's something that's everybody, including all of us supporting us from Africa, we feel like it's going to be possible because working with promoters, even Ghanaians who find themselves working with promoters like Frank Warren, like Richard Latte, and all those guys, they find themselves getting themselves in positions that they wouldn't have gotten if they were back in Ghana. So I think these goals that you have set for yourself are really achievable. Now, looking at the card yourself, which fights are you looking? I mean, the fights on 12th August. Which of the fights is your favorite apart from your fight?
I I think it'll be interesting to see how Yard does against that opponent who fought Linden as well.
Okay.
But aside from that, Denzel, yeah, Denzel Bentley's match. I want to see that one. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of Ghanaian fighters on the bill. I mean there's also a Ghanaian, and I mean it tells me how I mean how good you guys are doing out there in terms of boxing. I mean, and the opportunity that you guys are getting, and it just tells us that when everybody gets a level playing field, I mean, you guys will become world title. Like world title is very good.
Yeah. When everyone gets that level playing field, then it's down to your hard work and your perseverance. And when it's past that, all sorts. But yeah, it's our time to shine. So we gotta grab it with both hands.
All right. So are you training in your gym or you are in camp?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, are you going to set a camp for this fight, or are you going to train on your own from home?
Oh no, I've been in a camp for this fight since before that July fight was announced. Like I knew the fight was on, so I was in camp for that. That fell through, so we had a week of light training, and then I was back in camp because they originally told me it was going to be on within 2 or 3 weeks, so I was ready anyway. And then this later date of September came, and so he just adjusted the camp slightly. But I've been in camp, yeah.
Oh, okay. Of the
That's
people
why I've got cheekbone showing.
So I mean, of the people you fought, which of them would you say was your toughest?
The fight that I learned the most from was against Tyrone Nurse.
Okay.
And the fight where the guy was just tough. Like the guy was just coming forward, tough, strong, physically tasking was against Serge Umbuma.
Oh, okay.
I fought him in the 8-rounder. That was a good match, a good learning fight for me.
Okay. I mean, before you go, I'd like for you to tell us, I mean, your dream fight.
Or a dream fight for me, or just dream fight in general?
For you, I mean, your dream fight. Of all the people, I don't know, I mean, let's say your division, the welterweight, or maybe if you move up in weight or something. But for you, which opponent would you want to face, like in your dreams? Like this guy, wow, it's my dream fight.
I want to fight someone like Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dream fight would be against a kind of a danger boxer like that, where people are thinking this guy is strong. This guy's a problem, because I'd want to pressure him and I want to get them out of there, and I'd show them I'm the problem.
Right. You find yourself in a division where Manny Pacquiao is there. I mean, as in he's a WBA champion. Errol Spence, the 2 titles, and then you have the Bad also having the WBO title. If there was an opportunity for you to fight any of them today, which of them would that be?
It would be probably, I'd have to go for the one. Well, if he hadn't had his accident, I'd say Errol Spence. But he's had the accident. No one knows if he's still as good, as fresh, as sharp, and whatnot. So Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao. Why Manny Pacquiao?
I'd want to fight whoever's considered high up there. Basically, not the easier fight. I want to finish my career proving.
Great. All right. I mean, I would like to thank you for your time. Almost 25 minutes for your time. I know you just came back from the gym, and so you definitely want to get some rest. But before you go, I'd like for you to get your last words, and then we'll end the show from there.
Yeah. All right. Just want to say a big hello and thank you for tuning in to all the people watching the show tonight. And please follow me in my career. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my tag is at Ekow Essuman. So EKOW _ESSUMAN. And just follow me on there, message me, and keep in touch.
Great. All right, guys, like you said, follow him on Instagram, Ekow Essuman. I mean, it's a Ghanaian name, so I think many Ghanaians can go wrong with that. So very easy to follow. And then yeah, he's had an amazing career, and I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm also looking for you to come fight in Ghana sometime. You know, it will be
Yeah,
great.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys. Okay, all right. We wish you well, and then all the best in your upcoming fight.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome, my brother. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, guys, my guest has been Ekow Essuman, and it's going to be in action, God willing, September 12th. It's going to be a big one, and so make sure to tune in on BT Sport. When the time is up, I'm going to put up a link on on the place where you can also see the fight. And God willing, Friday I'll be here with another boxer from the UK, and we'll also get to know him much more, like we've gotten to know Ekow Essuman today. Until then, have a very good evening and enjoy the rest of your evening.